Once upon a time in a faraway land, high up on a mountain that scraped the clouds, lived a little dragon who couldn't breathe fire. Now, this wasn't for lack of trying. Oh, no! He tried and he tried, but all that came out of his mouth was a tiny puff of smoke. His mother, the queen of the Cloud Kingdom, was very worried about this. If her son couldn't breathe fire, how would he protect the kingdom from the monsters that lurked in the dark? She had asked the wisest dragon in the land, Old Man Thunder, to help her son. Old Man Thunder had looked at the young dragon and shook his head sadly. "There's only one way," he said, "to help you, little dragon. You must find the legendary fire flower that blooms once every 100 years, and use its magic to gain the power to breathe fire." The young dragon wasn't very happy about this quest. All the other young dragons in his school teased him mercilessly. "You can't breathe fire," they'd say, snickering. "You're a fake dragon. You should change your name to Fluffy because you are as useful as a bucket of water in a dragonese lair." The name stuck, and soon everyone was calling him Fluffy. It didn't help his feelings at all. But his mother told him, "You may not have the power to breathe fire yet, Fluffy, but you have a kind heart and a brave spirit. That is a good start to being a fine young dragon." So with his mother's blessing, he set off to find the fire flower. He flew over valleys and mountains, past babbling brooks and sleepy villages. One day he came across an enormous forest. Fluffy had never seen so many trees in one place before. "This must be it," he thought. "The fire flower must grow in this forest." But just as he was about to land, a gruff voice boomed. "Who's there?" Fluffy looked around, but he could see nothing. "Who's there? Speak up, I say," the voice bellowed again. Then Fluffy saw the glowing eyes staring at him from a tree above. A big, hairy monster with horns and sharp claws climbed down the tree. "What are you doing in my forest?" he roared. "I'm looking for the fire flower," said Fluffy. "The flower that blooms once every 100 years. The monster laughed. "Looking for that flower, eh? Well, you've come to the wrong tree. I am the guardian of this forest, and I won't let you have that flower." With that, he charged at Fluffy. Poor Fluffy was scared, but something inside him snapped. He reared back and let out a mighty roar, the loudest roar he could manage. The monster stopped in his tracks. He had never heard such a ferocious sound, and he suddenly felt very afraid. "Run away," he stammered. "Run away fast." And with that, the monster turned and fled. Fluffy was very surprised. His roar hadn't set the forest on fire, but it had scared the monster away. Maybe he didn't need the fire flower after all. He thought maybe his loud roar was a kind of fire, the fire of fright. Maybe he really was becoming a fine young dragon. From that day on, whenever a monster came into the forest, Fluffy roared, and they ran away. The other young dragons teased him mercilessly, but Fluffy didn't care. He knew he didn't need fire to be a good dragon. One day, a terrible monster with 6 legs and 3 heads attacked the Cloud Kingdom. The other young dragons panicked. They had never seen such a fearsome beast. But Fluffy wasn't scared. He wasn't even a little bit afraid. And the other dragons watched in amazement as he let out a mighty roar, the biggest, fiercest roar they had ever heard. The monster trembled and ran away. All the dragons cheered and shouted, "Fluffy, Fluffy, Fluffy." And Fluffy, the little dragon who couldn't breathe fire, became Fluffy, the brave, the hero of the Cloud Kingdom. From that day on, no one called him Fluffy. Instead, they called him Roaring Thunder.